right, we are off. The trail angel who filled our water yesterday evening told us if we hiked just a little bit further, you know, a mile, 2 miles, we'd have some beautiful views. Looks like she was right, but we were absolutely toast at that point. So I was happy to stop hiking and land right where we did. I believe that little town down there is South Lake Tahoe. It sure is. You can't miss the casinos. Crossing a dirt road here, and I can hear the traffic already on Kingsbury grade, which I believe is Highway 207. It's about a trail mile ahead, so maybe only half a mile as the bird flies. It's kind of dicey sometimes. Traffic can go really fast, even though locals tell me it's not that bad. I'm hoping that since it's fairly early in the morning, we won't have any trouble crossing. I started my 2024 Tahoe Rim Trail through hike attempt at Spooner, the same place we set out from yesterday, and I was going clockwise, so I am having a few just kind of flashbacks and memories of how that hike started. And you can watch the video series up here if you're interested. But I was very sick the first several days of that trail, and I'm not sure why, but I had a lot of upset stomach, and it was not fun. And I don't know what caused it, but I do know that that does happen to some backpackers occasionally. If you've had that experience, you can put a note down in the comment and let me know how wonderful it was. But yeah, I was feeling kind of crappy for those first 3 days. And I do remember that as I got closer to the ski resorts, which are coming up, the terrain became much more open. Not a lot of bushes to hide under or trees to hide behind. So it was a bit of a challenge for a poor girl who was sick. But thankfully, I'm feeling a lot better this year. These trees are aspens, if you haven't seen them before. And they actually grow in a network. So all these trees right here are probably sisters and brothers and cousins. And when I was in Colorado, I really grew to love the aspens. They kind of just shimmer at you when the wind blows. And I call them the jazz hands of the forest because their leaves just rustle and they go shh, kind of like they're cheering you on. So that's what I miss most about Colorado. I think Andy misses winter most. We were talking about last night, and he said, man, I really, really love the winter. I had no idea. And neither did I. So who knows, maybe someday in the future we'll end up back there. Here's the highway. Looks a little quiet at the moment, which is good. When I get down there, I'm gonna wait for Donna so we can cross together. We survived! Now we are going back into the woods. Someone's having fun with pine cones. This just makes me sad. We've seen so much of it, and I don't know if they're getting cut because they're diseased or fell because of storms or what, but poor trees. Taking a little break here while I wait for Donna to catch up. She was getting some water down there and I went on ahead. I want to take the opportunity right now while I'm thinking about it to give you a little tip if you're thinking about doing this trail. The Kingsbury South trailhead, it is not right across the road from the Kingsbury North trailhead. So if you're going to Spooner Summit, there's trailheads on either side and Brockway, and there may be a couple of other places like that. But for Kingsbury, they are about 6.5 miles apart by trail, I think. And a lot of people cache water at Kingsbury North, so don't get them mixed up and go to the wrong trailhead. Now, if you want to get down into South Lake Tahoe, then Kingsbury South is the trailhead for you. There's a little side trail that goes to a bus stop that runs down the road. It's a free bus, and you can get the schedule online. I can drop the link down there for you or put it in the description so you can find it if you need it. But that's a good out if you are looking for ways to go into town just to get cleaned up, to resupply, to get treated for an injury, whatever it might be. Kingsbury North, you can also get to town. You can get a ride, you can get an Uber. A little less convenient. It doesn't have the bus service, but yeah, that's the difference between the two. And they got a chipmunk on camera down there. And there's a ski lift. This intersection can be a little confusing. There's a marker on the rock over there, and I see a marker on a tree way over there, so that's the way we're going. The Kingsbury South Trailhead is right down that way, and the Tahoe Rim Trail continues that way. That view down there is the Carson Valley, so if you're looking opposite of the lake heading east, that's what you see. It's a little after 11, and I think it is high time to find a lunch spot because I have been starving all day long. So I'm gonna find a nice place to flake out and wait for the gunslinger. And I actually see one right there, so that's my spot. Yep, seems like a pretty good spot, so I'm gonna eat cheese sandwich, more Fritos. I bought the big bag, 9 servings, and I think I might be able to finish it. I've been wondering what all that noise is, and there's a big piece of heavy equipment up there moving trees, I guess. Well, there's 5 miles to my destination, Star Lake, and I do remember the trail being steep and narrow. It doesn't say dicey, but it does say narrow trail ahead, so I'm gonna get downhill a little bit to some water, and then I'm gonna start climbing up that open, exposed, rocky, steep, narrow trail that's gonna lead me to California and eventually Star Lake. Hiking up here is a little dizzying, looking down on top of mountains. And I know from experience it's gonna get a little narrower and steeper, so not gonna lie, sometimes that makes me a little anxious. So hopefully the traverse will go just fine. There's a little viewpoint right there for the brave. Trail is as brave as I'm gonna get right now. Well, I just dunked my sun hoodie in that cold mountain water. Man, it was hard to put back on even, but it's gonna feel really good as I go up that hill in the hot sun. Got my water, got cooled off, and I'm on my way to California. I'll be there in just a couple miles, actually. Looks like I'm gonna be hiking way over there. Look at this view. Yesterday we had a boulder. Today it's a giant tree. It doesn't look like much from here, but it's definitely a lot bigger than your average tree, like the one standing next to it. And here's me, and the really big tree. I made it. Just about back in California. Here I am. But that way. I'm back in California for probably the next 24 hours or so, not too long. Doesn't feel any different. I had a nice long break up there by the Monument Valley trailhead, waiting for Donna to come on up. So she's gonna hang out and chill a little bit more and then come on down with me. We've got about 2.1 of downhill and about 1.5 miles uphill to Star Lake. So not too much more hiking for the day. It's been a long one. We're both tired, but also very excited that we are just about done with the Tahoe Rim Trail. We've had an amazing time so far on this trail, and we've only got, well, less than 20 miles to go. And it's just been a really nice trip. I'm glad that we slow rolled it in the beginning. I'm glad we decided to do the little flip, giving us a chance to make sure we filled in all our miles in spite of the bad weather on Fuel Pass. And we've seen all the sights. Nothing left to do but go around again or go home. A very sandy trail. I like beach walking. Well, it was a long day, but we made it to Star Lake, and we are camped pretty close here to the water, and the lake is beautiful, and you can even see the moon in the sky. Well, this lake looks pretty darn inviting for a swim. Somebody's already beat me to it over there. All right, well, I had a dip in that beautiful lake right there, and we've had our dinner, and I'm ready to go to bed. This has been a beautiful end to a wonderful through hike. It's our last night on trail. We've got about 14 miles to do tomorrow, and then it will all be over, which is sad, but also exciting. It's about 7 o'clock now, and we plan to get up at 5 so that we can be on the trail hopefully by 6:30 to make it a shorter day, even though we've got those 14 miles to do. We are going up and over Armstrong Pass near Frail Peak, and then most of the rest of the day is downhill. So downhills can be hard too, but hopefully that will help us pick up a little bit of speed. We would love to be off trail by like 2 o'clock or so that we can get into the hostel and do our laundry and get cleaned up and all that kind of stuff. And then hopefully have a little time to celebrate.